Hey guys, in today's video, we'll look at the Backstage view which is available in Excel. Yesterday, we went through the various components of Excel, like the groups within the ribbons and the commands which are available within the groups. And apart from that, we saw the sheet area, which has various options as well. Now, among this, all the tabs which are available on the ribbon, one tab is available, that is the File tab. This File tab is what we call the Backstage view. Now, when I'm talking about Backstage view, it acts as a central page or a central place for managing your sheets. So this is where you have all the control on managing your sheets, not formatting or something like that, but how you can manage them. This view helps in creating new sheets, saving or opening existing sheets, printing them, sharing them across and all. Getting to the Backstage view is easy. As I said, we just click on the File tab, which is available, and here's the Backstage view. Now, when we try to open the File tab from an existing file or the workbook that is open, you will get this particular view. Yeah. Or if we try to open the File tab when none of the workbooks are open, you will get this option. So you will get this option where you have to open an existing workbook. So these are recent workbooks that are available. If you want to open a workbook from OneDrive, yeah, or from your local drive, that is your PC, and you'll get a new option. So these are the only two options available if you do not have an existing workbook open at your end. If if there is an existing workbook open at your end and you move to the File tab or a Backstage view, you will get all these options which are available to explore. Now, in this particular view, you have three columns. First is having all the various options which you can use. Second is the info about your Excel workbook, wherein you can protect your workbook or check if any issues, if you want to manage your workbook or browser. And third is the properties. We'll go through this individual menus or options that are available on the Backstage view one by one. So the info part has the info about your opened workbook. New is where you can open a blank workbook or you can use existing templates which are readily available from Microsoft Excel and can be used at your perusal so that you do not waste time in creating a new format altogether if you like one of them. Second is the open option. Here, as I discussed, you can open an existing file which is being already created and stored at various purposes. Recent will show you the recent files which were opened. From OneDrive, if you have stored your file on the cloud, you can open it from here. If you have stored your file on some of your local drive, then you can explore it from here, this PC. And if you want to add more places where you can store your Excel file, I can just say add places, and you can select the OneDrive place from where you can open the file, or you can browse through your various folders on your local drive to explore your or open an existing file. Next is your save option. This will ideally save your opened workbook. So you do not need to specify any kind of name to it. It will directly save the open workbook. Yeah. Now, apart from save, you have save as. This will open totally a new window which will ask you to specify the place where you want to store or save the existing workbook. So usually it will ask for a name for the worksheet. So it will ask for a name which I want to specify for the open workbook so that I can save it by that name. Or if I have to choose any alternate folder where I want to store the file or the workbook. So the difference between save and save as is save will directly save the file without asking where to store it or by what name to store it. Save as will always ask you for the location and the file name by which you want to store this particular file. Save as Adobe PDF and share as Adobe PDF. This will require Adobe Reader or Acrobat Adobe, which I will not take because this requires a separate subscription, which I do not have a PC. But ideally, just for your information, it will save your file in a PDF format. Yeah, so it will ask me to convert to PDF and I can save it. Yeah. Next is your print option. This will help you to print your existing sheet or the entire workbook or a specific selection of cells within your workbook to a printer, or you can directly print to a PDF. I can also send it to a OneNote, yeah, or a fax machine or to a printer that I have set up within this printing device option. Yeah. So there are various options that you can explore how you want to print your document, whether you want to it in a portrait size or you want it in a landscape size. You can specify everything, whether you want to print a specific page. So all the printing options is available. So this was your printing option that is available. Next is your share option. This is specifically used when you want to share your file or your workbook with your colleagues, your managers, and this can happen through your cloud. So it has to be stored on OneDrive first, and then it could be shared along with your colleagues. You can email it as an attachment. You can send it as a link. You can send it as a PDF. Yeah. You can send it as an attachment so that everyone can view it. You can send it through email. Lastly, you can share a link in the form of PDF by creating a PDF. The same option is available here, share as Adobe PDF link. Okay. So this is used to share your file with your colleagues, your managers who would like to work along with you on this file and contribute. Next is export. If you want to export your file in the form of PDF or you want to change the file type to XLS, but sometimes you want your colleagues or your managers or someone out of your organization is using Excel, which is of a lower version. Then you can save it to a lower version that is 97 2003, which will store the file in the form of XLS. Right now, it always stores in the form of XLSX. The previous version used to store it in the form in the file type as XLS. Okay. So if I want to store it in that format, if I want to convert it to CSV so that I can upload it to some softwares or something like that. If you have macros in your workbook, then whether your workbook should have been macro enabled so you can store it that way. Yeah. So there are various types in which you can export this particular file so as to meet a specific need of your user who wants to see this file. Yeah, so you can export it in various formats. This can be done by through save as well when you are trying to browse the file, and you can change the file type from here. So there are various file types available which you can use to store your file. Yeah, but these are mostly used formats, hence it is shown here. Okay. Next is your publish. Again, this requires OneDrive storage. So if I have to store it on OneDrive and publish it in Power BI, I can do that. Yeah. So Power BI, as you know, is a analytics tool, BI tool, which is by Microsoft. And you can use your Excel file in the Power BI to analyze your data, have the graphical representations, and do a lot of business intelligence on your business data. Yeah. Next is your close option, which will close your file. Yeah. And last but not the least, it's the most important functionality of the Backstage view, that is option. This will open up a window which have various options to manage your document or your Excel workbook. It has general options like how the font should normally look like, what you want the font to be, what should be the size of the font when you directly start entering data onto it. So I can set up default options for my Excel file whenever I try to open it. So I can have the fonts that which is by default, which should take when I try to enter any data, what should be the font size and all. The formula, whether my formula should auto complete, whether my formula should automatically calculate as soon as it is being entered. So there are various options you can explore within this. Yeah. The most useful option is the customized ribbon I usually prefer, wherein if I want to customize my menu options which are available here, the file tab options. Right now, if you see here, I have a power pivot option. Now, if I go here and if I do not use Power Pivot, I'll just click on it, or Acrobat. I do not have a subscription. So I remove Acrobat and I say OK. So the Acrobat option will be removed from the tab. So I say OK. You can see Acrobat option has been removed. Yeah. So going here in options, customizing my ribbons, I can customize what I want in my ribbon to look what I want my ribbon to look like. Whether I want some additional commands over there, I can put those additional commands from here. Yeah. So I can have a pivot table being inserted here. Yeah. So I could say add, and you have the command being added to this particular options. Yeah. So if I want to add some, or if I want to add any of the options, these are popular commands. You can have all of the commands here. So there are lots and lots of commands which you can use to add to your menu bar and to explore them. Yeah, you can explore them, but these are the minimum or the most used commands. Hence, this is what you will get in any window that you open up. So this will always be there: the home, insert, page layout, formulas, data, review, view. Yeah. So these are the commands which will always be there when you are trying to open an Excel file. Apart from that, if you want a specific command to be added in the menu bar, you can add it from here, or any file tab to be created from here, you can add. So this is how you customize your ribbon from here. Yeah. If you want to add any kind of add-ins which Microsoft has, yeah, you can add them as well. So if I want to add an analysis tool pack, which I use for my data analysis, I can add it from here. I can use a solver add-in for my what if analysis. I can do it from here. Yeah. So basically, just to give you an idea of the bird's eye view, is that options in the Backstage file view is used to customize your workbook so that you can work on it in a way you want to. Okay. This was your first column. Now the second column that you have is about your sheet information, which is more to do with how you can protect your workbook. So you can either encrypt your workbook, yeah, with a password. You can protect a specific sheet within your workbook. You can protect the entire workbook, or you can have added digital signature to your workbook. So you can use this option to protect the entire Excel sheet. You can set a password so that nobody can open your sheet, or you can lock the sheet so that nobody can edit your sheet as well. Yeah. So this is rather to protect your data for unauthorized access. Yeah. Next is your check your issues. This will help you to check for compatibility issues. As I said, if I open an older version of Excel, rather than XLS, I could come here and check whether it is compatible with your current version or not. Yeah. Or if you open an open office workbook, or if you open anything which is downloaded from a Google Sheet, you will check whether it is compatible with your workbook, Excel or not. Yeah. Also check if there are any contents which won't be able to read for by disabled people. So I can check that as well. Yeah. Or I can check for any hidden information which is there in your workbook by inspecting it. Yeah. So it will rather, this is specifically used to check for any issues within the workbook so that you do not face any problem while you are working on the contents of the workbook. Yeah. Next is your manage workbook. So this is specifically used to record any unsaved file. So suppose your system goes down or your battery goes low and your system just shuts down. So your workbook, the Excel stores it every time. So it gets auto save if you have turned it on. And this auto save workbook could be recovered. So you can see that 1205, my workbook has got saved today. Yeah, so I can recover this unsaved work at a later time when I try to charge on my battery again and start to open the Excel file and get it recovered. Yeah. Next is your browser view options. Now, this is what users can see when this workbook is viewed on a web. Yeah. So this way, suppose I want to publish my workbook. Yeah. So publish, as I said, can happen on your Power BI. Yeah. Apart from that, if you want to see your workbook on a web or on a Google, you can say on a Google browser or a Bing browser or a Windows Edge browser, how would it look like? Yeah. So this is specifically to see how your Excel will look like when it is open on web. Yeah. So broadly, protect workbook is to protect your workbook from unwanted access. Issues is to check whether your file has some issues. Manage workbook is to record your unsaved work, and browse view option is to check whether how your workbook look like when it is open on web. Yeah. So we have checked the first column. We have checked this second column. This is the third column where we see the properties. Yeah. So this is the third column. We saw the first column, which was one by one. Then we saw the second column, which was more to do with workbook information. Third is the properties part. Yeah. Which will have the size of your workbook. Yeah. So this will have size of your workbook. It will have any title that you have given to your workbook. Yeah. Any comments. If you want to remember why this workbook was created, you can have the comment. Yeah. Uh, it will have the last modified information, who created it, when was it last printed, who authored, that means who created this workbook altogether. Yeah. Who modified it the last, who modified it the last. And if you want more options, then we also get who printed it. Yeah. Okay. So last modify and related documents which are related to this workbook. So this is how the entire workbook view looks like, or the backstage view look like. Hope you understood the broad concept behind all the options that are available. Hope I was able to make it clear. And you can use it. You can check it as in how, when you get time, explore each option. As I won't be able to explain you in detail, going into each and every field. I could give you a broad idea of what are the options used for, well, which you can later go and explore by using them. Yeah. So hope you like this video. Do like it, share it with your colleagues who want to learn Excel. Do comment if you have any views or feedback. If you want to cover any topics, do let me know or comment on this video so that I can cover it during the course of our entire 365 days of Excel. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you like to get this kind of videos on Excel directly to your inbox. Thank you so much.